Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Preserving History and Democracy. My name is Cynthia Mendoza, Communications Coordinator for the Doña Ana County Clerk's Office, and today we are joined by Bernadine Caporal, our amazing producer.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. So you have another amazing few guests for us today.
I do. I'm so happy to introduce our guests for today. We first met them when they were getting their marriage license, and they had such a great story, we had to invite them on. So all of you, please welcome Amanda and Luis Santana.
Awesome.
Hi.
Thank
How
you.
are you guys doing?
I'm doing
great.
good.
Good.
Doing really great. Enjoying the beautiful weather. So
Yeah, it's a little windy today,
Yeah,
but
a
it's
little bit.
nice.
yeah, not
Do you
too
guys
bad.
want to start by telling us a little bit about yourselves?
Sure. Louis and I got married April 19th of this year, and we've known each other for about 10 years now. Question mark?
Yeah, I think so. Just about 10. Yeah, that's right.
We met because I ran the wine festivals out at the fairgrounds for quite a few years, and he was one of my wonderful vendors.
Yeah,
And
that's
with his gourmet beef jerky company. And so we were just business associates, essentially, and colleagues for very many years. And we kind of lost touch for a little bit. And then I was back down here. I got the pleasure of moving back down here in 2020 and ran into him after the pandemic and all craziness. And my life looked different and his life looked different. And we just connected. And I think the rest is kind of history from there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is so
Yeah.
sweet.
Love that.
That's pretty fantastic.
So now we heard a little bit when you were getting your license about this ring.
The funny thing about it is that it was purchased prior to me even knowing who Amanda was. After my divorce, I was kind of like, I'm just going to stay single. I literally went and wrote things on paper that said, this is my list, this is my non-negotiables. And really, I started to identify with being able to live by that set of non-negotiables that I just wasn't going to come out of, right? I had known how devastating it might have been to my family, to myself, my two kids. And so I said, I'm just going to really make it worth my time and effort just to hold out and just really observe. And so I think that was a huge thing for me. And I've always been the old-fashioned romantic to where I'm like, okay, like the romantic Prince Charming and Cinderella and all these beautiful things going on. And so I just kind of always kept that in my heart. And one of the things that I purposed was that no matter what I dealt with through kind of a painful divorce and discovery of who I am, was that I wouldn't lose that part of me that I still felt was so very, beautiful. And it just so happened that I was just passing by a store one day and I look over and the store had just launched their Disney collection. So I thought, it's for curiosity's sake, I'm going to go and look. And lo and behold, there was this beautiful ring, the Cinderella ring, and it just really called to me. And it was like, gosh, now, mind you that I'm not dating. I'm not seeing anybody special, nobody in particular, right? I just saw that ring and I was like, I need to buy that, And I think to myself, I was like, what in the world am I doing? I'm buying this ridiculous engagement ring and I don't even know who or when this is going to happen. But
You're manifesting it.
Oh, let me tell you, it was something so amazing because I really felt like the Lord was like, you just got to get this ring. Got to do it. And so I did, and I bought it, and I tucked it away, and I forgot all about it. And it was just the craziest thing that I just was done, and not even really until I met Amanda that I started realizing the more and more that we began to talk and communicate. She came from a very similar background as how, she had gotten her divorce, and both of us had remained fairly, nobody really serious. But in those non-negotiables, she was hitting every single one. Yeah, it was absolutely incredible. So yeah, kind of blew me away.
And
that's
same.
sweet.
And you knew me, but we weren't talking. We didn't reconnect yet.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that was the big thing. But
Yeah, and I think that was the thing. I think that has made this like so much more beautiful a relationship because even then, when we were both married, we were steadfast and faithful to that.
Sure.
I just saw her as a colleague, and really even in the physical attraction, she was always very beautiful. But I always thought she was very professional, always, and that was our business relationship. In fact, she used to tell me, and I laugh all the time because I drove her crazy. It turns out I'm a guy who loves to meet the promoter or like, you know, the person putting on the event. And this girl would literally send her minions out on me to like, go take care of that guy. And she totally tried to avoid me. I have no idea why. It's a great guy.
Yes, you were.
So, yeah.
You are.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So how long did it take for you guys to know you were the one?
Not long.
Oh.
We kind of started dating, and he's terrible at timelines, so I'm so glad you asked me this question.
I'm terrible at that.
So I think we started dating at the end of August, and he proposed to me November 19th.
Yeah.
And we moved in together the end of December. We bought a house together.
You just knew.
It moved quickly, but
It
it's when you
moved
know it was
quickly.
right.
Yes. And then we waited. We were planning a beautiful wedding in Puerto Peñasco, Mexico. And, you know, it just wasn't jiving out with the wedding planner and it being in a foreign country. And so then we just kind of took a pause on like, what does it look like? You know, if it's not that, what does it look like? And it was really important to us to find the right pastor and the location and all of that. So we kind of waited and we got married this year. So, it was 2 years ago
Okay.
that we really started dating.
What I love about us now, and we're very intentional. We were intentional in our businesses, and now we're very much intentional with each other. And I gotta be honest, when people ask me, that makes all the world of difference in any relationship. Whether you're in a business relationship, in a marriage, you have to be intentional. So the reality of the convenient marriage is just, to me, it's a relationship where you're just asking for trouble. You know, if it's really just convenient where you're not having to really try, something's going to come up. And so for us, we're very intentional with each other, and that's what our phone calls were all about. You know, just asking her what she liked about this and what this was going on and just what her future aspirations were. And through that process, I kind of already knew, I'm like, man, she is really phenomenal. And I tell her even now today, I was like, gosh, you're head and shoulders and everything else above so many other folks, because at the end of the day, it's what's inside of you, right? And
So true.
yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I get blown away still today.
Oh,
So
yours are sweet.
And he knew before I did, I think. I took a little, as much as I knew he was special, I knew he checked all the boxes. It did take me a little bit more time, I think, but once I knew, I knew.
That's sweet.
yeah. I think
Tell
so.
us about the proposal.
Yeah, so neat thing about that, I finally kind of said, okay, for Amanda, she likes to not be put on display. And I am the splashy guy. I'm like, hey, is the Jumbotron available? I'm like, I'm
a
that guy.
skydiver,
Yeah,
skywriter by
absolutely.
chance.
I was gonna absolutely. I'm like, that's what I was gonna do. So in my head, I'm always that big, thing. But for Amanda, she's a lot more private in that sense. And so it was just an opportunity where the number 19 is very special to us for that reason. So it was coming around, and I like, well, I'll maybe, do it for the holiday, or maybe I'll do this. And I think ultimately we just kind of ended up deciding, like, this is it. I'm going to do it before the holiday comes because we're going to spend it with our children. And it was just an opportunity to finally say, okay, this is what we're doing. And our house was coming together, so it was all of those things. Mm-hmm. And I wanted her to know that I just didn't want to play house. I really wanted her to know that I was all in. And even in selling my home in Arizona and the sacrifices that both of us took in order to get into that home, I wanted to show her that I was all in. I thought that was super important. So that's what it was, November 19th, and took her to La Posta because I said, okay, so what is the one building that has been around forever? Hopefully it will be around for another forever. And in the end, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, great, and as long as you can go down the line, we'll always walk up to that old bar. So it was the oldest bar in La Costa, right? The one at the very back.
Right.
That they can say, this is where it went down. And see, that's that intentionality that no matter what falls apart, you can always walk to that little bar and say, this was it.
That is beautiful.
Cute. I love that.
That's really beautiful.
That's why we did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's how I asked her.
Amanda, the proposal, he just told us about the proposal. Were you surprised?
I was actually. I definitely was not expecting it.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it, but I definitely was not expecting it in that moment. I remember him asking, we had dinner and then we moved to the bar. And he asked me, we had a drink. And he said, do you want another one? And I said, yeah, sure. I'm just going to go use the ladies' room. And so I went to the ladies' room and came back, and this little box was on a little plate right by my brand new drink.
Oh.
And I guess we have to fast forward a little bit because you didn't tell, I think, the best part of the story. The best part of the story was when we were walking into La Posta. My favorite jewelry store is Mateo's. Every time I go into La Posta, I absolutely need to go into Mateo's. And so he wanted to go into Mateo's, and I said, no, I cannot go in there right now. And like that day I was like, no, don't bring me in there. I don't trust myself. And he goes, well, if you don't want to, I want to. Because he saw these beautiful earrings in the window. He goes, I want to ask about those earrings. So we went in and asked the lady, he said, I want to see those. Are those blue topaz? I'm thinking in my head, what is he asking for blue topaz? That's crazy. But it was one of those things that, he said, do you have anything else? And so she brings 3 different pairs of blue topaz earrings. Wow. He's like, which one do you like? I was like, I mean, I like these ones the best, but who are you buying these earrings for? And he's like, you, of course. And I was like, why are you buying me blue topaz earrings? I said, it's right before Thanksgiving, the holidays. Yeah. I said, we are wrapping these up and they're going underneath the tree from Santa. Yeah. And he was like, whatever you want, dear. Well, there was this exchange that I did not see when he's like, let me take you outside, sales associate, kind lady. And he had a quick conversation with her and gave her said ring that I didn't even know he was carrying into the restaurant. And it was one of these like weird, and the other sales associate so kindly distracted me. And so it was just one of these things. So I thought it was the earrings when I saw this little box on the plate, and I was like, what are the earrings? Oh my goodness.
Wait, is that something else?
Yes. And it was just like that. Yeah. I think if you were videotaping me, it would have just been that. And I turned and he was on his knee. Oh. And then the rest of the kind people at the bar all applauded, and the bartenders were wonderful, and it was just it was a really I have matching earrings to my blue topaz.
That's
ring.
an awesome story, though. You got earrings and a ring, so
yes,
you can't beat
that.
Spoiled.
That's so wonderful. Now, I wanted to get into the process that you went through here at the clerk's office. What did you have to do first to get your marriage license?
I really think that we just went in and showed our IDs and filled out a form, and it was simple. We did have to call for an appointment.
Yes, right?
Okay.
Cool. People walk in sometimes, they're like, oh, I want to get my marriage license today. And we're like, oh, it's not quite how it works. You have to call, make an appointment, and all that stuff. So.
And we run about a week behind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Not too much of a wait.
Today's Thursday, we're running into Thursday and Friday of next week.
Yeah, and
so
it's about a 20-minute process. It was not long.
It was simple.
I know I did it on my lunch. We did it on my lunch break. And then you so kindly gave a form that literally showed you exactly where to sign, where your, JP or pastor or priest sign, and where your witnesses sign. It was just, I knew that going through it, we were going to have it perfect when we showed back up after.
Awesome.
Yeah, we try to make it as simple as possible. We give out the information when you get your license about what the officiant has to do. And we give an example of what they have to do. So it's a pretty simple process. Just call for the appointment and we'll help you through it.
Can you tell us about the day you got your license? Did you make it a big celebration? Were you just like, you know what, let's just go get our license real quick? And
the right answer is that every day is a celebration with her. So,
That
that's kind of what it is. But no, I mean, I'm sure we did. This girl Gosh, she loves to celebrate everything. So we've got buckets and buckets and sheds of every single holiday's decoration. So
I love
I'm
it.
pretty sure we celebrated.
That's awesome.
That's what it is. I think it is.
So when did you actually get married, and what was that special day like?
So we got married on April 19th, 2025. So again, 19, very special number. It was at Hacienda de Mesilla.
Oh,
So
lovely.
Very local place, a small, intimate. We had our closest friends and family there. And even some of my friends that flew across the country came all the way from South Carolina because
nice.
they said that they were not going to miss this day. And so my dad, all the way from Connecticut, came out. So we had our 3 kids there. That was my biggest thing. It was really, I just wanted us and our kids.
That's awesome.
And my son walked me down the aisle, and his son was his best man, and our daughter, stood by me. And so everyone had a really important role, and I think that's the best way to describe our day.
Sure.
Do you have anything to add?
No, just really close friends, family, just a beautiful layout, and I think that was it. Thinking again, it's just always thinking about, just how are those memories being loaded to the books, So I'm always very cognizant of that, and like I said, this is a time in my life where I really want to pay attention to each of those details. And she's such a terrific planner. She knows really how to set it up absolutely perfect. So I had to do minimal stuff other than buy my tuxedo and get everything dialed in. And
write his vows.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh, you wrote your
So
own vows?
We did, yeah.
Beautiful.
Absolutely, sure.
Cool.
Not a dry eye in the house?
No, there was not. And he is a writer, so I knew that. I actually was worried that his was going to be a little lengthy. And it wasn't.
She was cautioning me all the time. She's like, bring it down. I'm like, okay.
I think
So-
actually mine ended up being longer.
Yeah,
Really?
it did.
Yes.
I think it was. Yes, it was.
And
It's
crazy
a
enough,
great pleasure.
for those who are, into, lucky days or whatever, it actually rained that day.
Oh, yay.
In April. And
They say that's the best luck, though.
it was freezing that day, that evening. So it was, but yeah, so we'll see. I know it is.
Wet knots are harder to untie, so that's the whole myth.
Is that
behind
what
that.
that
is that what it
Is that
is?
what that
About rain on
I
wedding days. Good
didn't
luck.
know
So
that. So yeah, I knew
Well,
it was
there
good
you go.
luck
Yeah.
that it would rain on your wedding day.
I love
But
that.
it did rain that afternoon.
Well, it all worked out, right? So that's all that matters.
One thing, as far as the county is concerned, you are not married until you bring that back to record with us.
Absolutely.
Yes, you've got to come back with your officiant's signatures, your witnesses' signatures. The marriage certificate would be filled out, and you record it with us, and then the celebration starts.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's correct. And I think we
That's
did
cool.
that. I couldn't wait. I think it was Tuesday
Yeah, I think
after that.
So right after the wedding,
Yes,
basically.
it was. I was ready to
Bring it back,
Get
make
it
it
in.
official.
make it official. Well, I wanted to be officially Amanda Santana, so I could not
Nice. It's
wait
a cool
to change
name.
that
Yeah,
name.
that's
It is a
cool
cool
name.
name, yes.
She was telling me. It's a lot of A's, though, and
And
a lot of
N's,
N's.
because I'm Amanda Lynn Santana.
So you changed your name. How difficult was that to do?
The most difficult process was the Social Security. The Social Security office did change the process, so everyone knows you have to make an appointment.
And what did you have to bring from our office? Do you remember what documentation you had to bring?
Just that marriage certificate.
Not your original.
Not your original, but when you come and file your documentation, ask for 2 extra copies. So one of those will go to the Social Security office, and the other one will go to DMV. But your office was so kind in asking all of those questions.
We try to make it easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad we were able to make it easy for you guys.
Well, to thank you for coming in today, I've made you another certified copy, just in case you need it, for any other reason.
I appreciate that. That is so
you.
awesome.
You're very
I
welcome.
love it.
To any couple who maybe is like overwhelmed by the whole idea of the process, what advice would you give them, and how would you tell them the process worked out for you guys?
Well, it was really easy for us. The process was it was just a normal
Piece
thing.
of cake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
And he
Actually.
just came along for the ride.
I really did, yeah. And I think that's what's nice about it. It's just a single step to where, if you're kind of thinking about doing it, just simply just got to go to the office or make the appointment, go to the office, get it done. And I think the great thing is that you guys are able to guide us through that process as if we did not know, which is really great because sometimes like a guy like me would be very apprehensive of like, I have no idea. And you guys made it just a snap.
I
It was
had someone
so
call
easy.
today
Yeah.
asking, I've never been married before. I don't know what to do. Can you help me? And it's like, sure, I can help
Yeah.
you.
I
Yeah.
got
It
you.
is. It is an anxious-inducing kind of thing because you're like, wow, that's a lot of what needs to happen to make sure Uncle Sam recognizes that we're married.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I mean, I'm lucky I work here,
You know?
so I knew how it all worked out. But I think
Right.
if I didn't work here, I'd be like, wait, where do you even get started?
Right.
It's such a process. So.
Right.
You just remember the license grants you permission to
Right.
get married in New Mexico.
I gotcha. Okay.
And so you have to get that first. You have to get permission first.
Sure.
Then you go have your ceremony, and then you bring it back and tell us about it.
And your ceremony can be anywhere
go.
in New Mexico, right? So
Right.
if me, for example, getting married in Ruidoso, which is a whole other county, I can get married in Ruidoso, bring it back
Exactly.
here,
Sure.
and record it here.
Yep.
So.
Gotcha. That's
Well,
fantastic.
and I think a really important note is that you need to, when you actually go to that first appointment where you apply for the license, both you and your
Right.
spouse need to be there. Then the next time, only one of you needs to go in, so you can make that appointment whenever is convenient for one of you.
You don't even need an appointment for that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
you
You
just walk
didn't
in.
need. You could
Yeah.
just come in,
Right.
and that's it. So you don't need both of you both times, which is
Exactly.
sometimes really inconvenient for some
It sure
married
can be,
couples.
yeah.
Right.
Just they might work different schedules or kids, all of that
Yeah.
wonderful life stuff.
And then your officiant can bring it in, is that right? If
Your
you-
officiant can
Okay.
bring it in. However, we cannot give it back to the officiant. We would have to mail it back.
And they
Oh.
can't
I
get
gotcha.
certified copies for you.
And they
Right.
can't
Right.
get certified
Yeah.
copies.
Perfect.
for
That's
you.
good to
Just
know.
record it.
Yeah.
I'll just come back
record
to
it.
work and bring mine. So
Yeah,
that
there you
works
go.
out.
That's right.
We'll take care of you. Absolutely. So the license was easy. The marriage was a piece of cake.
Yeah.
And now we've got the rest of the life
Right.
ahead of you.
Yeah.
And God bless you both. And thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you guys.
in.
You're such a
Yes.
beautiful
Yes,
couple.
this was great.
Thank
It was
you.
really fun.
This was really fun. Thank
This
you
was a
so
great
much
story.
for having
Of course.
us.
Thank you for joining us and telling
Yeah.
us about your love story. It's so great to
Yeah.
hear people's
It
love
is.
stories. I love it.
Well, in a world that there's so much sadness sometimes and heartbreak and devastation, learning and hearing love stories and happiness is exactly what you should be hearing. So if your news feed is not covering puppies, kitties, babies, change your news feed.
yeah. Favorite FYP.
I'm all about the puppies.
Yes, same here. We want to thank our special guests for joining us once again, Louis and Amanda Santana. Thank you for joining us and giving us your beautiful love story. I want to thank Bernadine Caparel, our amazing producer, and Jacob Slaughter behind cameras. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms and to listen to our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll see you next time.